I was here in this gloomy room. Did any physician see me? I have seen no one until to day except the old woman, whose name I do not know, and who has so little to say. She is kind to me otherwise, but I am afraid of her hard face and of the smile with which she answers all my questions and entreaties. You are ill. These are the only words that she has ever said to me, and she pointed to her forehead as she spoke them. She thinks I am insane therefore, or pretends to think so. What a hoarse voice she has! She must be ill herself, for she coughs all night long. I can hear it through the wall. She sleeps in the next room. But I am not ill. That is, I am not ill in the way she says. I have no fever now. My pulse is calm and regular. I can remember everything until I took that drink of tea in the railway station. What could there have been in that tea? I suppose I should have noticed how anxious my travelling companion was to have me drink it. Who could the man have been? He was so polite, so fatherly in his anxiety about me. I have not seen him since then, and yet I feel that it is he who has brought me into this trap, a trap from which I may never escape alive. I will describe him. He is very tall, stout and blond, and wears a long, heavy beard which is slightly mixed with gray. On his right cheek his beard only partly hides a long scar. His eyes are hidden by large smoked glasses. His voice is low and gentle, his manners most correct, except for his giving people poison, or whatever else it was in that tea. I did not suffer any. At least I do not remember anything except becoming unconscious. And I seem to have felt a pain like an iron ring around my head. But I am not insane, and this fear that I feel does not spring from my imagination, but from the real danger by which I am surrounded. I am very hungry, but I do not dare eat anything except eggs, which cannot be tampered with. I tasted some soup yesterday, and it seemed to me that it had a queer taste. I will eat nothing that is at all suspicious. I will be in my full senses when my murderers come. They shall not kill me by poison at least. When I came to my senses again, it was the evening of the day before yesterday. I found a letter on the little table beside my bed. It was written in French, in a handwriting that I had never seen before, and there was no signature. This strange letter demanded of me that I should write to my guardian calmly and clearly, to say that for reasons which I did not intend to reveal, I had taken my own life. If I did this, my present place of sojourn would be exchanged for a far more agreeable one, and I would soon be quite free. But if I did not do it, I would actually be put to death. A pen and ink and paper were ready there for the answer. "Never," I wrote. And then despair came over me, and I may have indeed appeared insane. The old woman came in. I entreated and implored her to tell me why this dreadful fate should have overtaken me. She remained quite indifferent, and I sank back almost fainting on the bed. She laid a moist cloth over my face, a cloth that had a peculiar odor. I soon fell asleep. It seemed to me that there was some one else besides the woman in the room with me. Or was she talking to herself? Next morning the letter and my answer had disappeared. It was as I thought. There was some one else in my room, some one who had come on the tramway. I found the ticket on the carpet beside my bed. I took it and put it in my notebook. I believe that it is Sunday to-day. It is 4 days now since I have been conscious. The first sound that I remember hearing was the blast of a horn. It must come from a factory very near me. The old windows in my room rattle at the sound. I hear it mornings and evenings and at noon on week days. I did not hear it today, so it must be Sunday. It was Monday, the 18th of November, that I set out on my trip, and reached here in the evening. Here. I do not know where I am. That is, I set out for Vienna, and I know that I reached the Northern Railway station there in safety. I was cold and felt a little faint, and then he offered me the tea. And what happened after that? Where am I? The paper that they gave me may have been a day or two old, or more. And today is Sunday. Is it the first Sunday since my departure from home? I do not know. I know only this, that I set out on the 18th of November to visit my kind old guardian, and to have a last consultation with him before my coming of age. And I know also that I have fallen into the hands of some one who has an interest in my disappearance. There is some one in the next room with the old woman. I hear a man's voice, and they are quarreling. They are talking of me. He wants her to do something which she will not do. He commands her to go away, but she refuses. What does he mean to do? I do not want her to leave me alone. I do not hate her any more. I know that she is not bad. When I listened I heard her speaking of me as of an insane person. She really believes that I am ill. When the man went away he must have been angry. He stamped down the stairs until the steps creaked under his tread. I know it is a wooden staircase, therefore. I am safe from him to-day, but I am really ill of fright. Am I really insane? There is one thing that I have forgotten to write down. When I first came to myself I found a bit of paper beside me on which was written, "Beware of calling in help from outside. One scream will mean death to you." It was written in French like the letter. Why? Was it because the old woman could not read it? She knew of the piece of paper, for she took it away from me. It frightens me that I should have forgotten to write this down. Am I really ill? If I am not yet ill, this terrible solitude will make me so. What a gloomy room this is, this prison of mine! And such a strange, ugly wallpaper. I tore off a tiny bit of it and hid it in this little book. Some one may find it some day, and may discover from it this place where I am suffering, and where I shall die perhaps. There cannot be many who would buy such a pattern, and it must be possible to find the factory where it was made. And I will also write down here what I can see from my barred window. Far down below me there is a rusty tin roof. It looks like as if it might belong to a sort of shed. In front and to the right there are windowless walls. To the left at a little distance I can see a slender church spire, greenish in color, probably covered with copper. And before the church there are two poplar trees of different heights. Another day has passed, a day of torturing fear. Am I really insane? I know that I see queer things. This morning I looked towards the window, and I saw a parrot sitting there. I saw it quite plainly. It ruffled up its red and green feathers and stared at me. I stared back at it, and suddenly it was gone. I shivered. Finally I pulled myself together and went to the window. There was no bird outside, nor was there a trace of any in the snow on the window sill. Could the wind have blown away the tracks so soon, or was it really my sick brain that appeared to see this tropical bird in the midst of the snow? It is Tuesday to-day. From now on I will carefully count the days that still remain to me. This morning I asked the old woman about the parrot. She only smiled, and her smile made me terribly afraid. The thought that this thing which is happening to me This thing that I took to be